Thank you. I'll do it shortly, and you have on the stage also other expertise that can share their views from different perspectives. When we are dealing about the Middle East right now, the focus now is on Gaza, but we need to understand that changing this situation into opportunities, we need to deal with the situation in Gaza, with the entire Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and it's crucial to say that giving an answer to one of these topics, I mean, if we can change the realities in Gaza, it doesn't mean that this is the end of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but clearly it can be the key of the beginning of solving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And clearly, if we do that, then we can be in what Shimon Peres used to say, the new Middle East. I'm saying that it should be the obvious, but having Trump plan and listening to Trump speaking about this is the end of conflict and so on, well, it's not. It can be the beginning of, but Trump plan to Gaza doesn't solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but it's a good start. And I'm saying that after Trump's first term and creating and the Abraham Accord, so there is a reason for hope. The right strategy, and I think that this is very clear after October 7, is that the right strategy should differentiate the moderates or pragmatic nations, organizations in the region from the jihadist, extremist Islamist group. And this should be the base of changing the situation into an opportunity. I think that it's clear right now that Hamas doesn't represent any national interest of the Palestinians in terms of facts. Israel withdrew from Gaza Strip in 2005. There was no one Israeli settler or Israeli soldier in Gaza, and nevertheless, Hamas took over, and nevertheless, instead of changing it into opportunity for the Palestinians in Gaza, they decided to attack Israel sovereign soil and do this horrific massacre in Israel. So clearly they cannot stay as an armed militia in Gaza, and they cannot stay in power in Gaza. And I think that it's also clear now that any agreement should also give an answer to this in terms of Israel's security. The good news is that regionally, Iran, Hezbollah, and this axis that supported also Hamas and was part of these jihadist terror groups is weaker now after 2 years of war. Now I would like also to share my views, which are not the Israeli government policy. And I think that I should speak openly that there is a difference. Because if the right strategy is to work with the moderates of the pragmatics and to act against the extremists, and clearly Hamas is a problem. So looking on the Palestinian side, the more pragmatic, moderate side is the Palestinian Authority. They are weak, corrupted, need reforms, but yet speaking about the future of Gaza, speaking about another Palestinian regime, which is not a terror regime. So I believe that the Palestinian Authority should be part of it. Unfortunately, the Israeli government was completely against it during the last 2 years of war. And I believe that unfortunately, we wasted months after weakening militarily Hamas without having a prepared plan, reform Palestinian Authority, just because the Israeli government said no to any participation of the Palestinian Authority. I hope that Trump acknowledged that. I believe that the Palestinian Authority understands that they need to reform, but yet it's not enough. And there's a need for regional cooperation in order to strengthen the Palestinian Authority to act against Hamas within Gaza. Also, and this is a concern that I share with the government, although Israel accepted the plan, the participation of Turkey and Qatar, and they contributed a lot as mediators, but yet, especially Erdogan, that sees Hamas as more than a partner and not as a problem in Gaza. And therefore, it's very important that altogether it would be understood, agreed, and acted in accordance to the guidelines of Trump plan, saying that Hamas should not be in power. I also believe that that's also a time internationally to make Hamas, not only Hamas, I believe that this is the right thing to do also regarding Hezbollah, all these terrorist organizations that have on one hand a terror arm, on the other a political arm, need to choose between ballots or bullets. I mean, if you want to participate in election with all due respect, and there is no respect, you should stop being an armed militia, because the first rule of democracy is that the monopoly of the use of power is by the government. And in my negotiations with the Palestinian Authority in the past, they already agreed and understand that the future Palestinian state would be demilitarized. Now, if we are acting in accordance to Trump plan, this can be the basis also to open the door to negotiate with the Palestinian Authority about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Unfortunately, I don't think that there is eternal peace around the corner. I negotiated twice. Abu Mazen, Mahmoud Abbas, the chairperson of the Palestinian Authority, was not willing to say yes to just and fair plans that were on the table in 2008, and the last time was in 2014. But yet, this can be the beginning of hopefully a change. But as I said before, in Israel, the current Israeli government doesn't represent it. They represent annexation of the territories. They are not willing to speak with the Palestinian, or to work with the Palestinian Authority in order to open the door for a solution. The role of Saudi Arabia here can be dramatic, because clearly, in order to normalize their relations with Israel, they would demand or ask Israel to be more open or to take some steps toward solving the conflict with the Palestinians, or some step that would portray the path forward. And although after October 7th, most of the Israelis now are maybe more sensitive about the future, asking whether there is hope for peace at all. So if on the table, orchestrated by the US and Trump, we have a plan which should not be just, a vague plan, but with real step, with the contribution of regional stakeholders, as there is in the plan, and then we can have hope or see the beginning of something. And of course, this is something that serves the interest of Israel and serves the interest of the Palestinians, especially those that are living in Gaza. And they also deserve some hope. My fear, and I will stop here, is that the feeling is that the plan for now is too vague, nothing is happening, and therefore, without replacing Hamas with the PA or regional stakeholders, Hamas is in power. And as long as Hamas is in power, they will do everything to rearm themselves. This is the nature of this organization, and we are losing time. We used to say money time, but this is life and death time. And I hope that without spending more time, all the regional stakeholders with Israel will act in order to change this and to take Hamas off power, demilitarize Gaza, and for sure this will take time. And I hope that the Israeli government also will join, not only by acting against Hamas, but also by working with or enabling or agreeing that the Palestinian Authority will have a role in Gaza and in the future. That's it. So there is some hope, but it's very complicated. It's a very complicated jigsaw with different players, stakeholders, interests. But if the US would orchestrate it by pushing tempting, I don't know how to say, the different players, this can be the beginning of a change, and from this horrific day of October 7th, this can turn into opportunity.